friends, and welcome back to the channel. You're watching Project Dark Knight Horror, and I'm your host, The Dark Knight. Today, we're going to be focusing on ghosts, poltergeists, and demons. We're going to take a deep dive into the world of the paranormal. It's that time again. So close the door, shut the curtains, and turn off the lights and go full screen as you get ready to watch creepy paranormal videos that will 100% make you cover your eyes. I've hidden a secret word somewhere in the video. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to find the word and drop it down in the comments section along with the timestamp. And the first 3 people who find the word along with the timestamp will get a shout out at the beginning of the next video. The last video's secret word was Winchester. Well done to the first 3 people who commented the right information. Their names are Colin from Crew Ghost Adventures, Sinful Siren 333, and Dustin Rickman 5118. Well done, and thank you for watching the video carefully and finding the word. Mind you, I don't make it easy, and I like it to be a challenge. So keep your eyes wide open and good luck for this video. Let's begin. Scratching in the dark. If you've been watching my channel for the last 2 years, then you would have come across a channel called Yama-Q. Yama is a single Japanese man who lives in a 1-bedroom apartment with his beloved cat, Q-chan. Yama moved into this apartment 2 years ago, and ever since then, he's documented all manner of paranormal activity from footsteps to banging, scratching to doors opening and closing, and the most scariest and most common of all, the voices. He mentioned in one of his first paranormal videos that living in this apartment felt as if someone was standing behind him all the time watching him. But by far, the creepiest time of all was late at night, because while Yama lied upstairs in bed, he could hear someone or something moving around downstairs in his bathroom, screaming and howling in the dark. The activity inside of Yama's home got so bad that he performed a cleansing ritual in the hopes of stopping the activity. And it worked. Suddenly, Yama's home was free of all things that went bump in the night. But the cleansing ritual took an unexpected turn of events, because suddenly, in the early hours of the night, something started wailing outside of Yama's house. Whatever this was, a ghost, evil spirit, or a demon, you couldn't see it, but you could hear its scary wailing meters from Yama's window. This unbelievable but really creepy occurrence went on night after night for almost 2 years, and in that time, Yama tried a host of experiments to try to see what was wailing outside of his home. Then one day, after almost 2 years of non-stop paranormal activity, everything suddenly stopped. So Yama stopped uploading videos about the paranormal occurrences that happened around his home, and instead, he started making videos about his cat, Q-chan. This went on for about 6 months. Yama and Q-chan were finally happy together in their little home, but unfortunately, the good times wouldn't last, and Yama and Q-chan's peaceful life was suddenly dragged back into a nightmare. So one night, in the early hours of the dark, Yama was woken up from a deep sleep to a sound that he had never heard before. As he lay in his bed, his ears were invaded by the sounds of something scratching downstairs. So he got up and started recording, and he noticed his cat, Q-chan, was already wide awake and was wondering the same thing as Yama. what was scratching downstairs? And this is where we find ourselves in the video. Watch.
この前、何かを引きずる音って僕表現したんですけど、コメントで壁引っかく音ですって言われて、めっちゃ似てるんですよ。壁引っかく音してるんですよ。
Yama has no other pets apart from Q-chan, and this was the first time he had ever heard this type of noise, so it must have been creepy as hell for Yama. But when he came down to check, everything seemed fine and nothing was out of place, so then went back to sleep. Then, 4 days later, it happened again. This time, when Yama came down to investigate the origins of the sounds, the scratching didn't stop, and as he stood downstairs in the corridor, he kept on hearing scratching on the walls. But again, he couldn't see anything and nothing was out of place. And so, with the threat of the paranormal activity rearing its ugly head again, Yama had no choice but to dust off and set up the cameras again and wait.
"僕は寝ます。
Just as Yama and Q-chan were getting used to the scratching, something from their past suddenly started again. Up until this night, the only activity that had occurred in the house in the past 6 months had been the scratching. Maybe it was the recent scratching that woke it up, or maybe it was the other way around. Whatever the reason, it was back again. One night, Yama pushed open the window because he could hear a familiar sound of something in the dark. Watch.
今見ました？車めっちゃ通ってったっすよ。今外から声聞こえてて撮影しだしたんですよ。今車この道通ってって猫意味がわからんの。Q ちゃん。鳴ってる。
So, as you just heard, the Wailing is well and truly back. And, over the next few days and weeks, I wonder what other type of activity Yama-Q will be exposed to. As usual, you know I'll be keeping my eyes and ears well and truly open for any addition to this creepy case. Yama has made a lot of videos covering his haunting. Japan has different rituals and traditions, and the country is very superstitious. So, in the meantime, I highly recommend that if you're interested in Yama-Q's story and you want to learn some of Japan's rituals and traditions and build up your paranormal portfolio, then do as I do and jump on over to his channel. It's called THANKYOU. And when you get there, drop him a comment or two. But don't forget to tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. Hide and seek. For our next case, we're taking a deep dive back in time to 2012. This YouTube channel centers around a father and his son, and it becomes obvious quite quickly that strange, scary activity always happens around the boy. The boy looks to be around 8 to 10 years old, and it doesn't look like mum's in the picture. The dad said that he set up cameras all over the house, in places that his son sits and plays, because he's worried that the social services or the boy's school will blame him for the bruises and scratches all over his son's body. And even though he bought all the cameras, his son still gets scratched and bruised during the night. And so, at his wit's end, the dad made this YouTube channel to ask for and to receive help for his son. As for this case, it just so happened that the child's PE teacher saw the bruises on his arms and legs, and when questioned, the poor kid didn't know what to say. So, the dad installed a few cameras and left them facing in the direction that his son sits and plays. And on the first day of recording, the father managed to record a bowl moving, again in the presence of his son. Watch. After this video went public, the father got slaughtered in the comments, and it wasn't even about the paranormal. The viewers were more concerned about the state of the house. Basically, the house was messy. Don't forget, for whatever reason, mum wasn't living in the house, and the paranormal activity probably was stressing out the dad. The paranormal affects us in a lot of different ways. The dad might have needed some help or a friend to talk to. You should never judge a book by its cover. Again, the bowl moved, but this time it was accompanied by some noise and banging. But as the child is looking at a book, we hear a ghostly sound and then a loud bang from somewhere off screen. You can see the terror in the kid's eyes as he runs off, hopefully to find his dad.
Yeah. Z and a P. Oh, Joe. No, and a spell. A Wade. Yeah. Z and a P. What happened? Z and a P. What happened?
Did you see it? Now most of us have these types of magnets on our fridge, and I've never heard or seen anything like this. It also freaked the kid out because you hear him say what happened. So what do you think is following the boy around his home? Was it a child spirit or something evil pretending to be his friend? After this clip aired, the man got blasted in the comments for letting his son hold a Ouija board, and quite rightly too. Even if it was by accident, he should have kept the Ouija board locked away out of sight in his room. But it gets knocked onto the floor and the boy immediately starts playing with it. He's probably seen his dad use it before. Then you see some orbs shoot out of the top of the television. After this video aired, the man received a lot of comments saying that someone was hiding behind the TV, and so in the next couple of videos he addressed those comments. So what do you think about this case? Do you think the haunting was real? Or was it just another fake? There were some pieces of evidence that couldn't be explained, and some that could. But in the end, I guess it's up to you what you want to believe. Bobby's house. I've never covered this next YouTuber or his channel before, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. This man, called Bobby, lives alone in a big house. Now, for the last 10 years, he's been an on and off paranormal investigator. His channel's content feature topics about sports cars, travel reviews, food, pranks, challenges, vlogs, and the paranormal. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know that much about Bobby or his channel, which is called Rolling With Me. I only know what I've seen when choosing the content from his channel. Out of the 300 plus videos, there were 3 videos that really stood out for me, and they're the 3 that I've chosen to feature. Like I said, when I was watching the videos, I couldn't believe the insane amount of activity that Bobby was experiencing in his home, because the house has so much poltergeist activity as well as audible knocks, bangs and footsteps that these videos really should have gone viral. So I thought I'd feature Bobby's channel and share what he's been going through with you. He's collected all manner of haunted items and objects like dolls and Ouija boards and figurines. Some from haunted locations he was investigating, and others he's collected privately. But regardless of the location, the fact remains that Bobby brought something paranormal home with him, and for the last few years his home has been a hotbed of paranormal activity. So let's dive straight into the first of the videos that I chose to feature. So recently, Bobby has been in California searching for ghosts, and after he finished, he returned home only to find that the activity inside of his home has increased significantly. Objects were being thrown around the home, including things like kitchen knives. Watch.
You know, I took the knives and I put them in there, and I was like, later on I thought about it, it's like, you know what, I'm not going to be in fear of this. I'm just going to leave the knives out here, because why put them in there? Because they're only going to end up, if there's a ghost, they're only going to end up making them appear out here again. So I just said, forget it. You know, I'm just going to live my life. I put it out there. Knife is gone. And you know what? I saw it coming out of there, and then there it is on the floor. And the lights flickering. Last night and again today, just knives flying. This was moving last night. I'm gonna go see. I know for sure that this doesn't have any kind of way to turn by itself. There's no batteries in it. There's nothing, there's no way to... Let me just... Oh, it's gonna be a mess. All right, there's no way for a battery to go in there. That's just the bottom here. It's just the bottom. There's no battery place whatsoever. That just sits there. And you just spin it when you want to access to different spices. You spin it with your hand. There's no way to put a battery in it. That's just the way that is. So alright. That fucking thing just moved again. That just fucking moved. Are you moving? Are you moving my spices? And the knives, are you moving both of those right now? If you're moving them, can you move them again, please? Move the knives, move the spices, do something to let me know that you're here. Anything? Move a knife. Can you move the knives? Oh shit. Holy fuck. Alright. Did you just move that spice rack? Oh shit. Holy fuck. Alright. But I don't know what the happened there. Like, the spice rack was moving. Fuck. Okay. That shit is moving again. Holy fuck. Alright. I don't want knives flying in the house. Holy shit. Are you moving the coffee maker? Oh shit. Holy shit. Are you moving the coffee maker? Oh shit.
Things inside Bobby's home get more and more active each night. In the following footage, books fall off the shelf, chairs move, pots and pans get thrown, and the clock starts spinning. We join Bobby again for the second night as he hears something in his home. He said he saw the clock moving by itself, and so he starts recording.
What the fuck was that? Alright, that clock just literally moved. Did you just make the clock move? Show me a sign, do something. Holy fuck. Alright, that time, holy shit. Alright. Show me a sign, do something. Holy fuck. Alright, that time, holy shit. Alright.
Amazingly, all of a sudden, the clock starts spinning. Then Bobby takes it another step further and removes the batteries and shows the back of the clock to prove it's just an ordinary clock.
Right there, you know what that tells me? That there is definitely something there. There's definitely something there. So now I put the battery back in here. And I gotta set the time. Let's see what time it is. All right, 7:55. I gotta set the time on this thing. Just rule out any other possibilities. These kinds of clocks, the only way that you can set the time is just back here. You gotta just press on this thing and turn it. And then you can turn the time that way. That's the only way to do it. So there's nothing electronic that's gonna make these things go spinning out of control. There is nothing that's gonna do that. It's just a manual thing. It's just your typical clock. So the fact that these hands were spinning like a freaking propeller on a plane, that's just nuts. Okay, now I got a notification from the garage. How you like that? Never a dull moment here. Never a dull moment. Now I need to see what's going on in there. Anything in here that set off the security camera? I don't know. What the fuck? All right. I just heard something here, and I don't remember that being there. Right there, there's a fucking bottle. Alright. Alright. Who just got into the garbage? Who's in here? All right. Is something back here? Hello? Holy fuck. Okay. All right. I get it. I get it. Playing games with me. Playing games with me, right? Going into the garbage, right?
A few minutes later, Bobby hears sounds coming from the kitchen area and upstairs. It seems as though there's activity in the whole house. Then, the stool in the kitchen starts moving towards him. Sometime later, he's about to eat something when he hears the dishes move inside the cupboard. Just then, he sees a plate move on camera. Again, he shows there's nothing hidden inside. These are just regular dishes.
Alright. The fuck? Alright, there was something there. Sounded like something was coming from that direction. Fuck. Alright. Alright, is something this way? I'm hearing sounds upstairs and in the hallway. There's someone upstairs. Fuck. All right. I swear it sounded like that fucking chair just moved. Are you moving the chair? Okay. Are you moving the chair? Okay. All right. Why are you moving the chair? Are you trying to tell me something? Can you speak to me? Can you let me know if you're happy or sad? Can you let me know? You're moving the chair still. Is there a reason for that? Is there a reason for you moving the chair? Can you move the chair if I ask you to? Can you move it for me? What in the fuck is going on? Are you behind me now? Are you back here? You're moving around, aren't you? Or is there more than one? Is there more than one here? Are there more than one of you here? Can you move the chair? I won't ask you anymore. this is my life right now. This is what I'm dealing with on a daily basis. Now you know why I had to get away for a while. Nighttime, morning time, I don't think whatever is in this house, whatever is haunting my house, doesn't care if it's night or if it's daytime. It just does it whenever. I grabbed this camera because I'm trying to eat my breakfast. I just cooked breakfast, and in here now, that right there, that dish just flew into the side and hit that glass. Now what if that was gonna crash through and break the glass? Shit. What in the fuck? All right. No, but got fucking dishes. All right, it's bad enough that I have knives down here that are flying around, right? Now I gotta worry about dishes coming out of there. I've got to. All right. It sounded like something just moved on there. Is there something in here messing with my fan and this area? Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
So as you just seen, Bobby's home is overrun by the paranormal, and it's been that way for a lot of years. But it's slowly getting worse, and now it's got to the point that Bobby is seriously thinking about leaving his dream home. But we've seen what could happen if he does. In most of these cases, when the homeowner decides to leave the house, sometimes the paranormal follows them to their new home. Unless they deal with the paranormal problems head on, like a cleansing or getting rid of the haunted dolls, then Bobby's future doesn't look promising. So what did you think about this haunting? There was a lot, right? Well, if you think this case is fake, then let me know why in the comment section. I'll let you know what happens next time if Bobby decides to stay in his home or if he decides to leave. But until then, you can catch up with all his other videos and watch how his haunting got started from the very beginning when he became a paranormal investigator and brought something home with him by jumping over and watching his channel. The name is on screen. Bobby has stated many times that YouTube has been a constant source of support in his life. And he's said many times that without his channel and without his supporters, he doesn't know where he'd be. Basically, YouTube has kept him going all of these years, and I know a lot of you will understand that. So jump on over to his channel and drop him a comment or two on his latest video and show Bobby some love and support, because he really could do with some. And when you get there, don't forget to tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. Jerry is back. For our next case, we're paying another visit to Zark and his family who live in Dubai. If you've been watching my channel for some time, then you'll know all about Z and his haunting. For the last year or so, Zark and his wife Mona and their young son Ryan have lived with one of the most terrifying hauntings to date. If you haven't heard about Zark's haunting, I did a full feature on it a few months ago which will fill you in on exactly what happened. So fast forward 1 year later, and the haunting got so bad that the family left their home and moved into another apartment nearer to the city. Their last home was invaded by an evil entity, and the activity that the family experienced and the fear that the entity caused was on a demonic level. Imagine being woken up in the middle of the night to banging and scratching on their bedroom door. Cupboards and doors were opened and banged. Their front door was opened multiple times while they slept. Poltergeist activity was rife, and the sound of running footsteps and growls were recorded and documented on CCTV as well as their phone camera. This evil entity even attacked and hit Zark in the stomach. Z was so afraid for the safety of his family, which is why he documented it so well, because he needed help. And what did he get for his troubles? People doubted him. They said the haunting was fake, and some debunking channels even slated him. Z told me that he wasn't bothered what people thought of him as long as he told the truth and his family was safe. The family decided to leave, and so they moved. That was 5 months ago, and for the last few months, Zark, Mona and little Ryan have been living well in their new apartment. Zark has been working hard as usual, and Mona has been taking care of little Ryan. But, unfortunately, bad things will always happen to good people. Sometimes, evil still finds you. No matter how much you try and forget and try to get on with your life, sometimes there are evil forces in this world who just want to see happiness fade and shatter into a million pieces. And sometimes, no matter what you do, it's like everything is stacked against you. And this is exactly what's happening to Zark, because 5 months after moving into their new home, Zark started to notice strange things happening again, and it felt all too familiar. Watch.
एक मिनट भाई हेलो यार बच्चे थे ना there's the white shadow. How did she even manage that? Oh, there's the white shadow. I don't know whether the knocks have been recorded. Let me just check the camera. Shit.
Then it happened again. While Z was filming a reaction video for his channel, he heard the door knock 3 times. At first, he wasn't sure if it was the front door or the video he was reacting to, but then it knocked again. So he got up and started recording, and this is what happened. Something banged on the door the moment Z looked through the spy hole, meaning it knew Z was there. One night, Z woke up to go to the toilet when something happened that sent shivers down his spine and gave him a definite answer that the things that were happening around his new home wasn't just a coincidence. Watch.
ये क्यों हमारे पीछे लगा है?
मुझे नहीं मालूम।
अभी कहाँ जा रहे हो तुम?
1 मिनट यार, आवाज़ चेक तो कर लेता हूँ कहाँ से आ रही है। इधर ही रुको तुम। You see, the reason we took the apartment near the roadside is because of the noise. And the previous home was far away from the streets, and it was very quiet. And you know, these sounds used to disturb our sleep a lot. Now thankfully, at least because of the road, the noise, you know, at least the sounds get covered up. It's been at least, I think, over 2 weeks now. It's started again. It's almost gonna be 2 a.m. as usual. You know, the clocks were stopped working and we just got it replaced now. But unfortunately, the seconds dial it's not there in this. Anyways, I actually came to check out the noise and the sounds have just stopped. It seems like coming from the walls. Stop now. Yes. I gotta get up early in the morning now for work, and these sounds just don't let us sleep. That's enough for today.
One night, Z was pulled from a deep sleep by a sound that was all too familiar but filled his entire body with dread. As he lay there in the dark with his family, something was banging in threes. Can you imagine waking up to something tapping in your home, knowing that the only two other people are in bed? As soon as Z opened the bedroom door, the tapping stopped, meaning one of two things. Either the entity heard the door open, or the entity can see Z. Either way, the entity was tapping to get his attention, and it worked. Z walks around trying to figure out where the sound came from, but everything goes quiet. So he's just about to go back to bed when all of a sudden the noise starts again, the moment he switches off the light. This time he could hear the sounds were coming from near the back door. Just as Z was about to go back to bed, something horrible happened, which quite frankly would have made lesser men pee in their pants. Z told me that something breathed on the back of his head, and as he turned around, he felt something very close to him. Again, 1 week ago, Z was woken up to a loud noise coming from the living room. So again, he gets up. It was happening all over again, being woken up all hours of the night and having to work 6 days a week. Z was starting to feel desperate again. This time, when Z gets up to check, something banged on the window again, but it was louder, almost as if it's getting stronger, right? So he turns off the kitchen light and the flash on his phone to see clearly outside. And as he's looking outside the balcony through the glass, something hits the window, which really scares Z. You can tell by the way that the camera is shaking. Then, for some strange reason, the lights wouldn't turn back on. Things were getting bad again. This happened last week and was sent to me by Z to my email. He said to me that he's really fed up now and he's always so tired. He can't believe that it's starting again, even though they moved to another apartment. I don't think people understand how much this is affecting Z, and I'm really worried for him. If anyone out there is watching this and can really help this family escape this torment, then please get in touch with me using the email in the description section. This was Z a few days ago.
You see, the worst part of the haunting is not the activity which happens at night or any noise disturbance or the only most difficult part is the sleep. You see, my eyes are begging for sleep right now. I'm sorry. I know men are not supposed to cry. You know, the moment I'm trying to, my eyes are begging to close right now. But the moment I close it, I don't get sleep. And even when I get sleep at night, I get only fucking dreams all the time. It's not, the dreams are not even scary, you know. It's all about I'm just working. Imagine I go for work right now. I'm working. And when I'm sleeping also I'm working. My body doesn't feel like it's already rested. I'm just so tired of this. You see, I couldn't talk about this at home because seeing me break down, my wife and my kid would have been broken. You know, the ghost is not scary. They just fuck your life up. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for crying in front of you. I just couldn't control my emotions at that time. You see, being the father and also a husband, that's one of the highest responsibility what I have is protecting my family from any harm. My brain has become so hyperactive at the moment that even a small sound I hear, I actually end up waking up. You know, this thing, it knows I'm not scared of it. That's why it's like pricking me in a place where I'm the most sensitive at the moment. It's my family. That's all what matters to me at the moment. Anyways, let's see what's the end story right now. Take care, guys. I love you all.
This is obviously really taking a big toll on Z's mental state, and all he wants to do is take care of his family and enjoy the small things in life. He's not a bad person, but this ghost, evil spirit or demon seems like it wants Z to suffer. I will keep a close eye on Z and his haunting and report anything I see and hear accordingly. But in the meantime, if you can jump over to his channel and show some love and support in the form of subscribing to his channel and drop him a comment or two, I'm sure that will really brighten up his day and hopefully will motivate him not to give up. If you're new to Z's story, there's a reason why he's haunted, and it's not your typical Ouija board or haunted house, or even because he's a paranormal investigator. No, the reason Z is haunted is because he believes, and so do I, that someone summoned a spirit and cursed him. So, if you want to watch Z's haunting from the beginning, then click the link in the description section. And remember to drop Z a comment or two, but don't forget to tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. If you've seen something scary, creepy, or amazing, and you captured something paranormal on camera, or maybe you're a paranormal investigator and you need some help to get your content out there, or you might be unlucky enough to live in a haunted house and you need some help and advice because you think you're all alone. Well, you're not. Project Dark Knight Horror is here for you. So send in your videos, clips, links, photos, stories, ideas and more to Project Dark Knight. The email is on screen. Thank you. A Spanish haunting. Our last case takes us back to Mexico, where a man who 6 years ago used to be a paranormal investigator found out the hard way that sometimes if you investigate the dead and poke around in places where bad things happened, then sometimes bad things poke back. And what's more, this bad thing followed him and his family home, where for the last 6 years he's been living alongside the paranormal. He now works from home, which is how he manages to capture the activity you're about to see. One night, while he was working in the office, his dog started barking at the garage door, So, after a few minutes, he moves the dog away and checks the garage, but doesn't find anything out of place. Then, 5 minutes later, he hears noises from the garage and sees movement under the door. Watch. The man's dog Ragnar is scared of the garage. Even if he offers the dog treats, he still won't go in there. I'm sure the dog can sense, if not see something, inside.
Dejé la luz de la cochera encendida toda la noche. Dejé la luz de la cochera encendida toda la noche.
El carrito.
Esta muñeca estaba en el cajón cuando llegamos a la casa.
Me parece un diente.
Estaba grabándola para enseñárselas cuando me puse a revisarla y encontré dientes humanos. ¿Qué está pasando, Ab?
The man posted a video of a doll that he says he found in a drawer of the home. And it's only when a viewer commented to check the doll for any names or inscriptions that the man made a startling discovery. Inside the doll's pouch, the owner found 2 adult teeth. Now, if they were children's teeth, you might have thought of it like a keepsake, but 2 teeth belonging to an adult seems a bit dark. Either way, whatever the reason for the doll and the teeth, it added another layer of creepiness to the case.
¿Dónde escuchas pisadas tú?
En tu cuarto.
Pero pues, si no hay nadie en el cuarto.
Por eso tengo miedo.
Pero no hay nadie. Seguramente lo que estás escuchando son... ¿Cómo se llama? De acá afuera de la calle. ¿Eh? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Si ahorita se escuchó como que se empezó a balancear. Y esta madre no se mueve con el aire. Sí está bastante pesado. Digo, está colgando, pero... ¿Te espantaste? ¿Te espantaron? Ay, aquí lo espantaron.
So, to show that the activity in his home was 100% real, the homeowner moved the car outside so there'd be nothing to hide behind in the garage. And, as usual, that night he saw the shadow moving across from the door. So, he quickly opens the door to show the garage is empty. Then, one night, the family woke up to sounds coming from downstairs. As they got closer, they started recording the sounds of a child screaming. People in the comments said that the screaming sounded real, and I have to agree, that was the sound of fear in the screaming. But before the homeowner went to bed, he checked in on his son, who was in his room with the door closed, and he said in the morning everything in the office and garage was normal. So it's a mystery. More than one person in the comments said that they heard another voice talking in between the screaming. And I have to say, after listening to those screams wearing headphones, I admit there was another voice which sounded like it was talking to the child, and the child reacted by screaming louder after it spoke. Listen again, wearing headphones. The voice sounds like a woman's. If anyone's watching this knows what the voice is saying, please put it down in the comment section. I don't know what to make of this, because if that was real, then does that mean a child died in the house? Whatever that boy or girl went through, the fear and pain left behind soaked into the very stone walls of the building. As he got nearer, the screaming got higher, and when he tried to open the garage door, it wouldn't budge. It was like it was stuck. But in the other videos of the garage, he manages to open and close the garage door without any resistance. Now, I've seen a lot of cartel videos, and I've seen a lot of documentaries and heard the horrors of child trafficking. And without trying to make Mexico sound bad, I can't help but imagine what went on in that garage.
¿Quieres que te escuche? No mames. Uy, se escucharon pasos en el techo. No mames, acabo de escuchar pasos en el techo. ¿Eres tú? ¿Eres tú? ¿Estás aquí?
By the 10th of August, which was just a few weeks ago, things were still escalating and shows no signs of stopping. I've got in touch with the account holder, and as soon as I hear or see anything, I will let you know. But in the meantime, if you want to unpack everything that we've just witnessed, then jump on over to his account. The name is on screen. I've already emailed and reached out, so he's aware of the Dark Knight. So when you get there, drop him a comment or two. But don't forget to tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. If you've made it to the end, then I salute you. You've proved that you're a true fan of horror. So remember, if you're interested in ghosts, poltergeists and demons, haunted houses, randonautica and urban exploring, cursed objects, serial killers and strange dark mysteries, then Project Dark Knight Horror is the channel for you. I absolutely love all things horror, and I'm so passionate about my channel. So, if you like what you see and you think I deserve it, then can you show your love and support by subscribing to the channel? I'm a true believer in good karma. The kindness that you put out into the world, you always get back tenfold. Because what goes around always comes back around later. So, by subscribing to Project Dark Knight and clicking the like button, you'll be doing a good deed for me, the Dark Knight. And you'll be due a big fat lump of good karma. Also, if you didn't know, I've made a private group on Facebook which is exclusive and hidden from the world, meaning you can't search it or find it. The only way to get in is by clicking the link in the description section, and I'll open the door for you. So, if you're a fan of horror and you love ghosts, poltergeists and demons and all things dark and twisted, and you want to be part of the horror community as well as getting to know your Dark Knight, then click the link in the description section. Next, if you didn't know, I've made some merch. I've combined my love for all things dark and twisted with my passion for all things urban. And what you're looking at is the result. Remember, these have been designed and made by yours truly, the Dark Knight, and they are exclusive to the channel. So, if you want to look cool, dark and stylish, then look no further. Grab a piece of Project Dark Knight history before it's all gone. Lastly, I want to say a massive thank you to my lovely Patreons who go that little bit further to support Project Dark Knight. Getting the views on YouTube isn't always a guarantee, and with so much competition, it's getting harder and harder to get by. But with the support from my loyal Patreons, it's a lot easier, and it means I can continue to make Project Dark Knight my full-time job. Some of the names on this list have been with me since the very beginning. Those names are Dawson Lip, Total Chief 9, Andrew M. Gross, Laura Rhodey, George Lopez, Countess Monette, Greasy Cox, Donna Sayers, D. Michael Smith, Catherine Murphy, Trumpet, Anna, KJ Majid, Honey Badger, Charlie X24, Judah, Christy Santi Steven, Seth J, Chris, Randy Crates, Anthony Sornoff Unwin, Jacob Wilk, Cynthia Glover, Popskits, Eddie E, Matt and Katie Murray, and Michael Conlon. Thank you so much for your kind and generous support, and as a thank you, I will continue to share my content with you earlier than anywhere else. So, from the bottom of my heart to all my lovely loyal Patreons, and also you at home, my dear subscribers, because it's thanks to amazing people like you who keeps the engines running at Project Dark Knight. And always remember, you've been watching Project Dark Knight Horror, and I am the Dark Knight. Signing off. Peace!
Don't ever laugh as the hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in a big white sheet, from your head down to your feet. They put you in a big black box and cover you up with dirt and rock.